very fruitful, committed, and a good priest. Inside his heart, he's a very simple person. And I have begun to appreciate him more and more as time went. And that's why I thought that Father Susith Silva should be the rector of this institute in succession to his predecessor, Father Placidus de Silva, whom also I like to remember on this occasion, who is in a situation of indisposition, and we need to pray for him. Dear Father Susith, thank you very much. Words cannot express our gratitude to you, myself and the whole Diocese of Colombo. We thank you for all the loving labor that you put in to take the baton from your predecessor and carry it forward and hand it over to your successor. All of us are like that. The Lord is the one who brings our life to fulfillment, and He has strange, mysterious ways in which He guides us. And I'm sure you have experienced His love and care and His loving transformation of our lives and your life as you walk along the life's path. All of us are passing actors in a drama, and when we finish our role, we have to move out, leaving the space for others, and that's what happens to every one of us. But you have been a faithful servant to the Lord and to the Church, giving your best to this institution and developing it. Thank you very much for that great effort and love with which you carried out your mission. So I'm proud and happy to be here and to see that your portrait is unveiled in this institution as a mark of gratitude and recognition of the service that you render to us. My dear friends, Aquinas College is now more than 60 years old. Thousands of students have gone through these walls and have stepped into life with professional qualifications. Some of them have excelled in society, in all walks of life. So we can be proud about the record and what has begun during the time of His Eminence, the servant of God Thomas Cardinal and the rectorship of Very Reverend Father Peter Etille and all the other rectors who followed. Through these walls, many boys and girls have gone into life and have succeeded in their life thanks to that effort, and it will continue in the future too. But what is important is not just only technical, scientific education, but formation of personalities. Today, more than at any other time, when the world is moving in the direction of selfishness, many people think only about themselves, their little world. They are not concerned about the others. And as a result of that, the moral conscience of our youth is broken up, and they are unable to face the challenges of life. It is not science and education and passing exams that will prepare us to face the challenges of life. The challenges of life can be faced only if a right conscience is built in the heart of every single student that comes here. A right conscience to say this is right, this is wrong. That kind of conscience is missing today by and large. There is a spirit of readiness to compromise. Good and bad, well, it is bad, but it is also good. So trying to justify bad behavior, irresponsible behavior. This is not only just at the level of our political leaders, but also at the level of society. Many people today in this country are corrupt. Even if you go to a small office and you stay in a queue, if you give that Even 50 rupees or 100 rupees, I don't know, maybe it is far more now. 200 rupees, they will put you in the line in front. This is what is happening. There is a lot of corruption of our society. Moral principles are gone. Especially even among the youth, because youth are people who have to think of what is right and what is wrong and be instruments of transformation of society. But if they themselves are corrupted by this kind of mentality, then there is no salvation for society. Today in Sri Lanka, when you look at the general outlook of this country, starting from the topmost person up to the last person, there is so much that is to be transformed and changed. Which is very sad. Shortly we will be celebrating independence. It will be the 74th independence anniversary. Is Sri Lanka really free? We have obtained political freedom from the colonial masters. But are we really free as citizens? Have we a guarantee that tomorrow we will not be arrested, taken somewhere, trumped up charges filed against us and kept incognito in jail and in prison? Is this society a law-abiding, a society where the leaders follow the rules of fair play and justice? These are questions that we have got to ask. Those leaders were youngsters about 30-40 years ago. They went to the university. They studied in the schools. So how did it happen that today they have lost their conscience? They don't know the difference between what is right and what is wrong. And they can do anything they want and say it is the right thing. We have in our society today in Sri Lanka the adoption of the philosophy of Machiavelli. What is that? Might is right. Might is right. Not principles are right, or religion is right, or values are right, but might is right. So the powerful people decide what is right and wrong. Is that right? Is that something that is acceptable? That is what has happened to our Sri Lankan society. 74 years of independence have seen us becoming slaves. We are now in all kinds of slavery. Today's Sri Lankan society is a society of slaves. All the principles have been sacrificed for the sake of power, for the sake of wealth, for the sake of money. That is what has happened to our society. These are things that don't look very attractive when we say it, but that's what has happened. Should we allow this situation to go on like that and maybe deteriorate? This is not a matter of saying that these particular political leaders are responsible, only they are responsible. No. Over the 74 years, different political leaders have destroyed this country and its freedom. What is the use of having parades, army parade, navy parade, police parade? What for? If the people are not free. Is that the type of freedom we are talking about? We have to examine our conscience and see what went wrong. Unless we rectify that, there is no future for this country. We will become further and further, we will fall into slavery. We obtained freedom from the British, but we have become slaves today after 74 years, losing our dignity, our freedom, the rule of law, uprightness, moral conscience is gone. What is the use of education? 70 odd years, after the schools were taken over 60 odd years. Where is discipline in our society? Where is honesty? Where is the rule of law in this country? So we have to be agents of transformation. Institutions like Aquinas must give values to our boys and girls, challenge them to be people who become transformers of our society. Not just only coming out with BAs and MAs and PhDs and other things. Useless. The most important thing is to be a social transformer. I would kindly therefore encourage you, dear Father Rector, to continue in the good tradition. Zealous work started by former rectors, including our dear Father Susith Silva, to whom I wish all the best in wherever you are launching out to Father in the future. The Archdiocese has place for you further. Please work with us continuously if it is possible. I know that you want to further your experiences and so on, but I appeal to you to join us and continue your work with us. Please remember, these institutions are for that. If we don't help our youth to experience that they must become transformators of society, that they will themselves get into the rut and allow society to be destroyed, then institutions of this nature are not serving their purpose. More important than the degrees is the formation of character, uprightness, moral rectitude, and a moral conscience which says this is wrong, this is right, and choose always what is right. Even if you have to sacrifice yourself, that is courage, that is strength, that is youthfulness. So I appeal to all of you to think about it and transform this institution. Dear Father, Father Sylvester, you are a capable person. I'm sure with your staff and with all the others who help you, you will be able to make this institution an institution of social transformation and the experience of true freedom for our people in Sri Lanka. May God bless all of you and Father Susith, the Multos Annos, Felicísimos Annos.